I want to talk to you about something about Bitcoin and Bitcoin specifically, the dwindling supply. This is something that I don't think people fully grasp. It's important for those of you who are focused upon cryptocurrency to really try to ignore the noise. Again, I rarely get on Twitter and just browse because, quite frankly, I find it to be completely a waste of time. I did go on Twitter just the other day and I browsed. It was a mistake. It was a great mistake. And what I mean by this is by browsing just the financial stuff on Twitter, there are so many people who have absolutely zero experience handing out advice. And there are so many people who are looking for advice, getting advice from people who don't have any experience. It's a tragedy. And in fact, as I mentioned to you earlier today on this session, I was speaking with an acquaintance yesterday who was talking about how he is afraid to invest in some things. And the point is that he told me that he spends a lot of time looking at Twitter and paying attention to what these people are saying. But however, when you notice many of the folks who are talking on Twitter, half the time, they're not even, they're maybe 25 years old. And I'm not slamming young people. Listen, young people can be very smart. But when you're in your 20s and you're out handing out financial advice and you have no license and you've never seen, a stock market collapse or crash, or if you have, it's your very first one, like 2022, people went crazy in 2022. It's like they'd never seen any type of crash. My point is that you've got to be very, very careful who you listen to. Okay, you be very, very careful who you listen to, and don't let people who are emotional and who literally they're just driven by emotion, right? And they make all of their decisions based upon emotion. This is a patience game. Okay, this is a patience game and it's a wisdom game. And wisdom and patience are not dispensed on Twitter. Okay, what's dispensed on Twitter are clickbait types of things. They want to get you to focus upon what they're saying. They want to get you emotionally enmeshed in something. Okay, data is important, and patience is important. And when we look at what's happening with Bitcoin, we need to just focus upon what's happening. We don't need to make it up. We don't need to have any emotion. We just look at the data. The data is telling a story. Here's what the data is saying. Here is the available supply. This is from Glassnode. Available supply as percentage of total supply. Very important number. Available supply as a percentage of total supply. Okay, so where is that at? That's this orange thing right here. So this orange graph. This is the available supply as a percentage of total supply. And here is the number over on the side. 10%, 20%, right? 40%, 50%, on and on. Okay. So this is the amount, the available supply as a percentage of total supply. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a chart that shows us something very interesting. It shows us that during, and we were here for all of this, by the way. We witnessed all of this as investors. Okay, so before the very first halving one, the amount of available supply for trading was rising. Okay, it was rising. So as the prices were rising, the amount of available for trade was rising. Then you get to the first halving, which occurred back, 2020, 2012, 2013, and then you see that 4-year cycle, and there's the second halving. Okay, during that time, the available supply for trade was going up, okay, up during that entire time of the halving. Then you go from halving 2 to halving 3, all right, halving 2 to halving 3. What happens to the available supply for trade? It rises, okay, it rises, okay. So now what's happened is something that I haven't seen. I've never seen this before. Here we are in halving 3, which came back in 2020, the mid-2020. And now we're nearing halving 4. What are we, 8 months away? Something like this, right? Maybe a bit more. 10 months away or so, okay? Wherever we are, 8, 9, 10 months away. what we see is that the available supply for trade has been declining the entire time. Almost the entire time. So we haven't seen this before. We've only seen available supply for trade rising in between these halvings. We have entered a time where the amount available supply for trade from Bitcoin, the amount that is available for you to go out and buy, is going down as we expect prices to go up. That is a recipe for higher prices, right? Definitely a recipe for higher prices, because the less that is available supply for trade, and by the way, this number is going down well before what? Well before BlackRock just filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF. BlackRock is going to have to do what? They're going to have to buy Bitcoin. Why? To back their Bitcoin ETF. Who's going to custody that Bitcoin? Coinbase. Coinbase is going to custody the Bitcoin. Okay, so that means that BlackRock, the largest financial manager on earth, the largest financial asset manager on earth, is going to be doing what? It's going to be buying Bitcoin and putting it in custody with Coinbase to back its ETF. Now, what is BlackRock, the largest asset manager on earth, going to be doing with its ETF? It's going to be selling it. It's going to be selling the ETF. So here's my point. You haven't seen a Bitcoin commercial from BlackRock. You haven't been sitting at a Super Bowl and have seen BlackRock run an ad on why you need to buy their Bitcoin ETF. You're going to be sold Bitcoin by BlackRock. Okay, nobody's been sold Bitcoin by BlackRock yet. Does everybody get this? BlackRock hasn't made a commercial yet selling Bitcoin to the masses. Your uncle, your aunt, your grandpa, your grandma, your mom, your dad, your kids, they will all have the ability to buy Bitcoin where? In their 401k. Where? In their IRA. Spot Bitcoin ETF. And who will be telling them to buy it? Not some nerd on social media. It's going to be BlackRock coming to you in Technicolor through your television screen. Okay? BlackRock with a massive, massive advertising budget, the largest asset manager on the planet, is going to be selling Bitcoin. Okay? Do you think they're going to succeed at selling Bitcoin, or do you think they're going to fail at selling Bitcoin? They're going to succeed at selling Bitcoin, aren't they? But they're not going to be alone, because Valkyrie is going to be also joining them. They're filing for a spot Bitcoin ETF, right? Their ticker is going to be BRRR. If they get it, if this actually happens. We still haven't seen it happen. The SEC could deny these. But again, with BlackRock, it's very likely they're going to kick the door open. Then you also have Invesco, refiling for their Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, right? Then you also have Wisdom Tree filing for their application for spot Bitcoin ETF. BTCW will be the ticker. So you have these ETF issuers who are getting into Bitcoin. Why? So they can sell Bitcoin. They want to sell Bitcoin. Okay? Well, up until this point, who's been selling Bitcoin? Coinbase, Binance, and then who's been the advertisers for this? Well, people on social media, right? I mean, you hear from your cousin who buys Bitcoin. Right? He's the guy coming and saying, hey, you should buy Bitcoin. Okay? BlackRock's not telling you to buy Bitcoin. Right? Invesco hasn't been telling you to buy Bitcoin because they don't have any money in the game. But they're getting ready to have skin in the game. Okay, so when they have skin in the game, you haven't seen the Bitcoin commercial that BlackRock is going to run. Okay? You haven't seen the Bitcoin commercial that Invesco is going to run. You haven't seen the Bitcoin commercial that Wisdom Tree is going to run. Right? They're not going to listen to the guy on social media, but they're going to listen to BlackRock. Do you see how this is working? And guess what these companies have to do? They have to dip in and buy Bitcoin when the available supply available for trading is going down into a halving where they're going to actually have a diminished supply. It's going to get cut in half even more. So we have not seen, you have not seen, I have not seen, we have not seen these companies begin to sell Bitcoin. The only people who have been pumping Bitcoin have been people who are on the fringes, okay? On the fringes. And when they're done with Bitcoin, guess what they're coming for? They're going to come for Ethereum. And Ethereum is a dream for Wall Street. Ethereum is a dream for Wall Street because Bitcoin's like gold. It's like digital gold. You buy Bitcoin, what are you going to do with it? You're going to just sit it in a vault. It's like gold, and you can't do anything with it, right? It doesn't earn anything unless you want to speculate with it, and that could be dangerous. So you buy Bitcoin for the same reason you buy gold. It's insurance. You just put it away, right? Store it up, okay? But Ethereum is not that way. Ethereum is Wall Street's dream. Ethereum is it has the same digital asset-like properties of Bitcoin, but it pays a dividend, to use Wall Street terms. It pays a staking reward. It pays, and so when you hold it, it's not like gold. It's like some asset that pays a dividend. So Wall Street's really going to like Ethereum. And again, Ethereum has deflation going on, so it's dwindling supply. We have never seen the largest asset manager on earth, say BlackRock, sell a product that has a finite supply. We've never seen it. You say, well, they sell gold. Well, they do sell gold, but the supply, even though we all know it's technically finite, they keep finding it. There has never been a situation where Wall Street is selling a product that has no way to raise the amount. We've never been in this situation. So to me, if you're looking for risk on, or if you're looking for, a potential rally, or if you're looking for a potential, rise in price, look no further than Bitcoin and Ethereum. People say, well, you got to go find the next Bitcoin. BlackRock is going to sell Bitcoin. Are they going to succeed? They're going to succeed. Okay, so people all around you are soon going to understand that they can go buy Bitcoin through their 401k, through their IRA because of BlackRock. Okay, if this spot ETF is passed, now it may not be passed immediately, may be some delays in this, but the point is that when it actually happens, we're going to move into a brand new world. Brand new world. So right now, even though it feels like crypto's been around forever and it's like an old story, and Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's old, we got to find the new ones, and people are always digging for the next new penny one. What I'm trying to say to you is that we are still in the early innings of what's going to happen. You're watching it play out in front of you, and the ones who win are the ones with patience. You got to have patience. You got to just sit and wait. Sit and wait. What we do is we just accumulate and sit and wait. So BlackRock's getting ready to come in, and they're going to be selling Bitcoin. Okay, what are they going to do if BlackRock sells something? Guess what they're going to advertise it. They're going to promote it. So, and you have this finite supply, dwindling supply, and now Wall Street's going to start selling it. Now, now whenever the supply is going down, now they're going to sell it. So when you do the math, you realize there's just not enough of this stuff. There's not enough Bitcoin. There's not enough Bitcoin at all. There's not enough Ethereum for these guys to sell this stuff. So when they jump in and start selling this, you and I may not listen to BlackRock and go run out and put our money in, but there's a lot of institutional investors who will follow BlackRock off the edge of the earth. And if they're selling Bitcoin, these guys will want in. Okay, so as Michael Saylor said the other day, and as we've been saying for 10 years right here, telling you that there's going to be a war against crypto, and then we would see institutional adoption. Okay, institutional adoption was coming. We've had 13 years to front run the institutions as a retail investor. You've had 13 years to front run the institutions. But that window is closing because the institutions are going to step in and they're going to start buying all they want. Right? And did you see what happened to Bitcoin Cash? It soared. Why did Bitcoin Cash soar? It's the number one on our crypto leaderboard. Why? Because they're picking the winners. EDX Markets, which is backed by Charles Schwab, Fidelity, and I want to say Vanguard. This group, this exchange, EDX Markets, listed 4 cryptos. They listed Bitcoin. Why? Because it's not a security, according to the SEC. They listed Ethereum. Why? Because Wall Street has pretty much assumed that it's not a security. They listed Litecoin. Why? Because it's pretty darn certain on Wall Street that it's not a security. And they listed Bitcoin Cash. Why? Because it's pretty darn sure it's not a security, according to Wall Street and the SEC. Okay, so they're picking the winners. Okay, and so Bitcoin Cash took off like a rocket, went up more than 100% over the last week. Because what investors are realizing is that Wall Street is going to pick the winners. So if you're off, hanging out with Doggy Coin, thinking that it's going to go to the moon because somebody on social media said so, you need to reevaluate. Wall Street's going to pick the winners. And Wall Street is going to go right for the jugular with Bitcoin, and then it's going to go right for the jugular with Ethereum, and then it's going to go right after Litecoin, and it's going to go right after Bitcoin Cash. And then anything else that doesn't look like a security or that the SEC gives permission to, they're going to sell the snot out of it. Okay, that's what they're going. They're going to come in and they're going to sell this stuff. That's how they make money. So you won't be relying upon the guy in the basement, from his basement on social media, telling you to buy Bitcoin. You're going to have BlackRock advising institutions to buy Bitcoin. They're going to be selling it. Okay, we've never lived in this world. We've never lived in this world. So just get ready. Bullish on Bitcoin, bullish on Ethereum. Absolutely, positively. 2025, we see six-figure Bitcoin. 2029, by 2030, it's not out of the realm of reason to see seven-figure Bitcoin. We've never seen anything like this. We've never seen anything like this.